Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Youth Intake Challenge, for which should be Youth Intake Day, which is everybody's favourite. So let's get into it. And welcome back. So we're just a quick skim through where we currently are. I mean, we're 9th in the league. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to make a push for the playoffs this time round. We're 8 points adrift of Dartford with 6 games to go. So we've got 18 points up for grabs, but barring some kind of resurgence where we win all 6 games and Dartford slip up massively, I don't think we're going to make it. That's compounded by the fact that some of you may have noticed the top goal scorer for us is Edward Amoako, which tells you that Oscar Allen has unfortunately departed the club. There was nothing we could do really. They were coming in with massive offers. We could only hold on to him for so long. He was unhappy. And eventually we had to cave in and we sold him to Rotherham for 125k, moving up to 200k, which we were hoping was going to tide us over and give us a bit of a boost into some of the youth systems. However, they're still reluctant to give us what we want in terms of the club vision. So when we go into the club vision and we look at the board, I mean, they're letting us have a set-piece coach, but they're not letting us improve the training facilities, which is what we really want. In terms of the squad itself, then, we're largely doing all right, and some of the other players have stepped up massively. So you've got Dean Spencer's at a 5-star now, which, again, we won't go too much into these on this episode. We'll catch him in the end-of-season review. But he's been the standout player since Oscar Allen left. Atienza stepped up to 4 stars. So we're not doing terrible. But what I would say is when we're looking around the squad, and before we go and look at the youth intake, there's a couple positions we really need to fill desperately. That's the fullbacks we're really struggling for. We've not really had anything top quality come through yet. We probably need another centre-half to pair Atienza, and then we're looking for some midfielders. And possibly now we need a new hero up front as well. So Jay Gilder, he's back from his injury. He's come back from his broken leg and he's back in the squad, 2.5-star. Hopefully he'll continue to develop from where he left off. But without further ado, I'll click through. I'll get us ready for the youth intake. I'll click through until it's in the inbox. I won't open it till it's on camera, and then we'll see what we get. So we're hoping for a good intake this year. I think it said in the preview there's a midfielder coming through, which is massive. That's beneficial. But we need a couple to go alongside that. So let's see what we get. Welcome back. It keeps making me click the email boxes, so I can't leave blank ones before the intake's going to come in. So to make sure we don't end up seeing it before you see it, we'll carry on, because I think it's imminent, end of March. And there we go. So that's the intake, which looks fairly good. So we've got 4 elite talents. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like 8 elite, 8 top talents, 3 good talents, and then 1 decent talent. So starting at the bottom, we'll just have a quick flick through. So Emmanuel Ndebuisi, a right midfielder / attacking midfielder on the right. He's not got a great deal of potential. In all honesty, we're probably not going to keep him. I don't think he's got the stats we need. He's not got the profile we really need to make him. At some point, we have to start cutting off some of the youth intake as they come through, so we don't take them all. So Emmanuel Ndebuisi, he probably won't be signed on. We will see, but not looking like one we'll keep. England Hayden, an advanced midfielder. He's up to 3-star potential. Again, stats-wise, it's in a position we don't generally tend to play. However, that is a formation change we've looked at doing a couple of times in the past, and we might try again in the future. He's both-footed, which is a massive plus, but his personality is temperamental. So again, we might well keep him on. One for the under-18s to bolster the squad. He's only 15, so he's got a lot more years to develop through. So England Hayden's a maybe. What else we got? Ashani McCammon, another 3-star left winger, but not in the advanced position, which is what we've got in our formation. So again, it's the one that doesn't quite fit what we necessarily want to do, but again, that doesn't mean we won't keep him. We won't try and develop him for somewhere in the team. Where else have we got? Darcy Parrott, midfielder on the right. He's in the more attacking position, so competition for Amayako, perhaps. Again, not the paciest. We're going to have to see how he develops. We'll probably sign him on and see if he makes it up to that kind of 3-star potential, because even up to 2-star does get into the first team. So Darcy Parrott might be one for the future, but again, it's going to be highly dependent on how he develops. He's right-footed only. He's unambitious. We won't write him off. We'll sign him up and give him a go. Into the top talents then, which is where we're looking at some slightly better players that got a bit more potential threshold. Miles Richardson, a ball-winning midfielder who can play in a advanced position. Again, a bit more of a development threshold for him. Again, no stats to stand out at the minute, but 15, he's quite young, so he's got a bit of pace on him, a bit of agility. His aggression's high, which you want for a ball-winning midfielder, so maybe he will develop in the right way for us. So he's one we'll sign up. Abu Duru, fullback, and he's already a current 2-star, so this is massive for us. We needed a left back because we've been struggling. We have had Cockings out there, but he's not developed as fast as we wanted. Binham Williams isn't going to be there forever, so Abu Duru looks like he might be a ready-made replacement to go straight in at left back. He's on a fullback there. Tackling's alright, marking, positioning. Again, they're not great, but they're not too bad. He's got a good work rate. He's got a little bit of good technique, and he's naturally fit. So Abaduru, he looks like a really good intake. He's probably the one that I think fits best into the squad so far. A lot of promise from him, so pleased with that. Charlie Cossington on the left-hand side. That's where Gilder normally plays, but again, he's got a good potential threshold here. We're hoping he's got a little bit of crossing on him. Let's have a look. Crossing 6, dribbling 8, so not terrible for this level. The acceleration's okay, pace not too bad. Again, naturally fit, which is good. A bit of technique, work rate's a little bit low, but he's got a fairly professional personality. So again, I think he might be a player for us in the future, which is good. So far not bad. We've got one on the right now, Gonzalo Diaz. Again, not too great on the crossing, but he's a wide target forward, big tall player. Good teamwork and work rate. I wonder if he actually could develop him more into like a pressing forward type role, which I think would, or a target forward. I think he's an iffy one. I'm not quite sure he would be a wide player. A wide target forward is not really something I really played with before, but again, he's got some potential in him. Macaulay Lancaster, a centre half, which again we needed it. Whoa. Emmanuel Christopher above him again is another one. So Macaulay Lancaster, 189 centimetres, good jumping reach, good tackling actually. So right from the word go, he's got a bit of positioning. His marker needs a bit of work in his head in, but really promising start for him. He looks like he could turn out to be a bit of a player. So we're happy with that. Macaulay Lancaster, so that's 2. We've got a left back and a centre half, which look like they're going to fit in really well. Emmanuel Christopher, another centre back. 174, so he's a bit on the short side. Not quite got the stats in the marking, heading or positioning. Balanced personality, left footed, so left of the 2 centre backs. Good aggression, but yeah, I'm not really sure on that. I don't think he's got the edge. If he develops well, he'll be good, but I think Macaulay Lancaster looks the better of the 2 to me. Josh Griffin, a wide target forward. I don't think out there. Up front, target forward. Big, tall, 187 centimetres. Oh, he's particularly slow. He did look like, when I saw his potential, I thought, yeah, well, this looks like it could be the one. But pace of 4 is quite disappointing, especially for someone who's going to play up front. So I'm not sure on that one. He's a bit of a false dawn, that one for me. Gerwin Cartwright, another central defender, nearly 4.5 star. Expecting him to be good, a young Welshman. 179, so not terribly small. About 5'11". Tackling's a bit low, jumping reach is a bit low. Again, another one that he needs to develop quickly. What's his balanced personality? Left-footed again. So what I would say though is that's given us some big options at centre back. We needed some centre backs coming through, and we've got 3 top talent centre halves come through and a left back, and we've got a ball winning midfielder in there. So the top talents are really good. Let's have a look at what the elite talents are, starting with Gary McHugh, who is a diamond in a very strong group of players apparently, so he might well be the best one. So let's have a look. Deep line playmaker, and yeah, I mean he looks good from the off. Let me know in the comment section, but he's got good technique, teamwork and vision, a deep line playmaker, so that centre of the park decisions are good as well. I think he's going to fit in nicely as that kind of central midfielder, the creative element to build the squad around, and he's come at the right time with Shakumbi leaving, so yeah, that's a really good one to come through with McHugh. Alex Moody pressing forward, 5-star potential, 1.5 current ability. Could he be the replacement that we need for Oscar Allen, who's departed? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, I like him. He's fast. Not great in the finishing and dribbling. Not great in the work rate, and he's unambitious, but he's pacey. We like the pacey. He's brave. Alex Moody could be someone we develop quite quickly into that kind of pressing forward role. So at 15, he's a bit on the young side. He's got a little bit of development to catch up with some of the other players. But yeah, not bad. Jesse Russell, defensive winger, but I mean his strongest position's right back there, which again is another position we've needed. Fullbacks are always something we need. Defensive fullback, good work rate. Nothing really else to cry home about. I mean, again, unambitious, right-footed, but I think we'll develop him into a right back and flesh out the squad in that position to give us a bit of depth. So, and then the last one, a goalkeeper, Samuel Chigozie. I think we've got a few good goalkeepers. He might well be the best of the bunch. We are going to need some goalkeepers to step up eventually, but that's quite a few in the squad we've got now. But yeah, I mean, quite pleased as an intake. I think it's got all the component parts we need. A good spread across the back four, which is something I've been asking for a while. One of each full back, 3 options at centre half. Maybe a little bit lacking in centre mid, which is something we might have to address by moving some of the other players around who were there last season. But all told, I think really good intake. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I think Alex Moody might be one of the players to watch, and I think Abiduru, the left back, I think he's another one who could fit straight into the squad. I'll go and play with him through the squad planner and see if we can integrate them, and then we'll have a quick look at how that makes the squad look going into next season. So stay tuned. Welcome back. So I have filtered out the youth players. I've given them all contracts. I've put them in the planner. I've set it to next season so that we can kind of filter out players who are going to leave at the end of their contract. So Binham Williams is one, and the midfielder, I can't remember his name, Shinumbi I think his name is. And I think I've also filtered out everyone who's less than 1-star current ability. So when we look at the goalkeepers, we've got Jack Ruddy and Lakin who've got 1 more year on their contracts. Chigozie is the upcoming prospect who's got 5-star potential. But hidden in the background as well, we've got Ergi Muka and Ingley and Fredericks who've come in previous intakes. They've got 4.5-star potential. They've not quite hit 1 star yet, so we'll look to get them out on loan or playing in the youth system to develop them on the side. And I've done that for each position. So Abiduru, the new left back, I think what we'll look to do is play him for the final 6 games of the season and include his development in the end of season review. James Cockings is a left back, but he plays more advanced in a wing back type role, and I actually think Abuduru's got the better stats and the better potential for a quick gain in that position. And then we've got Yoshiaka Sawa in there as well, who came through a previous youth intake. And again, within the depth there's some more, but we won't include them, and I won't look at them for every position we go into. In terms of centre halves, then really strong for Atienza. Ekpiteta we've got another season out of, and then we've got a really good selection of young up and coming players there. Alex Clark, Macaulay Lancaster just coming through recently. You got Brophy, Elsley, so a really good selection of centre halves. So I'm quite happy with that position now. We just need to get a couple of them to pick up a little bit on their potential, and we'll be laughing. Right back, I would say, is probably the weak area. Fontas isn't really high potential. Scarlett's only got 1 year left on him. This is where I will dip in. You've got Craig Howard as a potential option at the back, but we're really looking quite weak at the right back position. Defensive midfielder, I mean, we've got Scott for another season, and then we've got a good selection of youngsters coming through actually. Curran, McEwen and Chama, And again, we've got some more, but I think we're looking quite good in that position. We might change formation in the future to go to an advanced midfielder, but we'll see how we look next season. Middle of the park again, Dean Spence is a phenomenal player. He'll probably integrate into the central midfield role rather than attacking on the left now that we've got Gilder back. But we've got Riley Scott, we've got John Schaff, Wodrago, and then we've got Gary McHugh, who's got quite a lot of potential. We're quite excited about through this intake. Kelly Ajayi, Benjamin Nchama in a defensive capacity, not so much in the right hand side, which is more offensive, and some of the players on the left where Dean Spence is creative best. Attacking midfielder on the left, we've got Dean Spence is our best player out there. We won't play him there. Jake Gilder, he'll fit back into that position with Howarth and Alexander being his understudies. On the right hand side we've got Amoako, Jordan Babu, who pips in for potential. He just needs to develop a little bit quicker. And then we've got Gonzalo Diaz out there as well. And then up front, we've got a good selection of players there, all vying to be the next Oscar Allen. Not quite sure which one it's going to be. I might give some game time to the likes of Alex Moody just to see how he plays in the final few games of the season. Regis Shabani wasn't doing too bad. He's got a few goals since he came in. And Steve Tracy, who's got a good potential threshold, but he's not quite as pacey as I would normally like for a forward. And that's just really in terms of the squad development, how that looks in the squad list. I've promoted a huge number of players in there, but as you can see, we're starting to get some higher potential players in there. And if we can get them to realise that potential, we'll be a force to be reckoned with. So hopefully that serves as some way of a bit of an update where we are. I don't want to go too much in depth on the players that were already here. It's more about the players that have come through so we can have a look at them and see what potential they may have. At the end of season review, I'll pick a splattering of players again, much like I did last time. We'll see how they got on throughout the whole season, and then we'll do a quick look at how we're going to plan for next season. And we'll probably play the first game of what would be season 4 and see how we're going to start the season. So once again, thanks for watching. It's been I think it's been a pretty good youth intake. I'm still really enjoying the challenge. I don't know if we'll ever get out of the Vanarama National League South. I think we need a bit more of an update to the training facilities to realise potential quicker. But the promising thing is we're always there and thereabouts, and we've nearly phased out all them players that were here at the start. So it'll only be another season or two before we're fully reliant on the youth system. And I'm quite excited to see how we do when we get into that phase. Bar a miracle, we're not getting into the playoffs. So you can cross your fingers, toes and anything else you want to and hope for that at the final update at the end of the season. But I think it's a very, very big stretch to think we might be in contention for that. And until next time, take care, enjoy yourselves. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on with your game. Are you doing a youth intake challenge, or are you playing it kind of conventionally? There are some other challenges that are quite interesting. I've seen a lot of stuff about the Pentagon challenge recently. I'm not sure that's one for me yet, but maybe next year, because I'm quite enjoying this one, and probably I will do something similar next year again. So until the next time, take care.